All right, make your way into a child's pose. Thank you for joining me with this power old school sequence. So this whole practice was all about building the strength towards handstands through just sun salutations, through a normal power class, right? Press the palms of the hands down as you lift the elbows up. Lift the forehead up a little bit and lengthen the spine. Sit bones draw back into the heels. Tune into your ujjayi breath. Just feel the back of the nose, throat, an audible sounding breath. Kind of wiggle the abdomen between the thighs and rotate the shoulders externally. So you have this lengthening plane between the fingers and the sits bones, and the shins are slowly melting deeper into your mat. And really become deeper into your awareness with your breath. Let the drishti turn inward, the gaze, to where you have this felt presence of the sensations coming up towards the mind. And slowly, like, rock the shoulders from right to left, awakening the torso. Feel the organs inside the torso being massaged. And then gently just flutter the fingertips onto your mat. Just kind of create this cadence of the fingers tapping. Over to the left hand side of your mat. The fingertips of touch and feel alive in the spirit within. Again, just tick-tock the fingers over to the left hand side of your mat. They're walking over like little bitty spiders. Lateral bend in the child pose, balasana. Counterweight the right fingertips into the left groin. And then slowly walking the fingers over like little spiders back to center. Then grab opposite elbows. And again, rotating the shoulders externally, wrapping around the torso. Lift up the left hand and thread the right arm under. Bring the right ear onto your mat. And then spider finger the left elbow upward as you twisting the torso. The side of the skull could be pressed into your mat. Give yourself all the time and space into the pose, awakening the body. Left arm comes back forward. And then reach the right arm forward and thread the left arm under, bringing the corner of the left side of the skull down. Spider finger the right elbow upward. Really feel the toning of the pit of the belly in the twist, spiraling of the spine. The right shoulder head drifts back and down and pressing it forward as if the chest is opening. Now lengthen the right arm forward and slowly press back up and recline back down into child's pose. Slowly press forward into a puppy pose. Take the forearms onto the ground and then grab opposite elbows as the chest moves forward and the crown lengthens. Slight arch in your back. Squeezing the knees together. Just feel all of the shoulders opening. The chest might make it to the mat. It might slide forward a little more. Moving towards the abdomen. So maybe even the chin reaches forward to the mat. You're still lengthening the back skull, even though the head might be cocked back a little bit. Bring the hands by the side ribs and gently glide all the way down. Elbows squeezing back. And then lift the right leg, reseat the right hip bone. Lengthen the left leg up and reseat the left, then rise up into cobra. Then slowly bring the hands forward. And again, press the thumbs apart, elbows towards the hips, and feel the collarbones become wide. Fingertips or the webbings of the fingers are becoming wide. Now slowly spider finger upward into a more advanced, or to a different cobra pose. Hands by your side ribs, knees onto the ground, draw back into child's pose. So awakening the body, curl the toes under, move into tabletop, stacking the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Good. You can lengthen the feet long and let the shins press down deeper. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly as the shoulders rotate and the chest come through the arms. Exhale, chin moves towards the chest. Exhale, pelvic tilts forwards. Externally rotate the shoulders. Internally rotate the arms as you round the back spine. Good. Inhale. Pause. A couple breaths here. And then exhale. Pause. Inhale. So maybe let the movement be ignited on the pause. So as you get to the exhale, and then on the pause, draw into the inhale, into the cow pose. And back to neutral. Now, with the straight feet, lift the hips up, stretching the top calves. Right hand rises up, gaze follows the right thumb, and thread the right arm under, lower the right shoulder down, deepening the twist. So you have the stability in the left hand. Good. And then reach the left hand forward. Draw the left hand back. Press down. Rise up. Gaze follows the thumb. Inhale. And then open up for a gate pose. Bring the right leg straight. Left knee for stability. And open up. You feel the expansiveness of the gate pose opening. And then back to tabletop. Left arm comes up. Inhale. Exhale, thread the left arm under. Bring the top of the skull down. Spiral the fingers into the mat. Right elbow rises up. Extend the right hand forward. Good. Bring the right hand by the cheek. Root it back down. Tabletop. Extend the left leg up, gate pose. Support it with the right knee down, or side plank Vasisthasana modification. Left arm goes way back. Just feeling the opening as you press the left side of the body upward. Thread the left arm back down to tabletop. So Vasisthasana modification on the right side. Left knee down. And in the tabletop, we're going to do knee to nose, right knee carries forward. Exhale, straighten the right leg back. Toes pointing downward. Exhale, tiger curl. Inhale, lift up. Gaze forward. Inhale. Exhale. Draw the knee to nose. We're doing a little core Pilates. Left hand can join the action. Draw the elbow to the knee. Inhale, expand. Exhale, knee to elbow. Continue. Exhale. Expand. And then bring the left arm wide, the right leg wide, and then bend the knee and reach behind you to grab the ankle. Open up the left shoulder. Good. Bring the left hand forward, right leg back, and then move back into tabletop. Left leg extends, fan the toes, draw the knee to the nose. Inhale, open the heart. So it's like cat cows or tiger curl. Inhale, extend. Exhale, forehead towards the knee. Now you can include the right arm if you like, make it a little more difficult. Bring the elbow, expand, exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, exhale. Hold. Bring the right arm wide, left leg wide, and then bend the left leg, reach around. Expand onto, what do you call this, pointer dog pose. I'm sure there's a name for it. Gaze above the right shoulder. Extend the right arm and the left leg back and lower back down to tabletop. Curl the toes under. Now lift the right leg back. Good. And then hover the left knee up and then step back into three-legged dog. Good. Just really feel the left hip press back as the left heel presses down. Move the chest towards the thigh and then slowly lower the left knee towards the ground, keeping the right leg lifted. So you have a little challenging. Bring the right knee to meet the left. Heel lifts up. And then see if you can lift the right knee up and move all the way back into three-legged dog. Good. And slowly opening up the heart, lower the right knee back down, keeping the left leg lifted, and the left knee meets the right. Press back into downward facing dog. So you can pedal the heels if you like, bring the chest towards the knees and bending the knees generously. Pressing, bicycling the heels. Do whatever feels good for you in this pose. Kind of waking up the body. Bring the right hand to the outer left ankle for a twist. And you can always tell if it's difficult to lift the hands up in downward facing dog, that you're front loading the pose. Bring the left hand to outer right ankle, twist, and then move yourself back to downward facing dog. Lift the right heel up. Inhale. Good. Pause here. Lengthen. And bring it back down. Left heel lifts up. Good. Three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, lower the left foot back down. Now lower to the forearms into dolphin pose. Squeeze the elbows in as you step the feet forward. Interlace the hands. And then cup the back skull into your hands and lift up into headstand, traditional forearm stand. Squeeze the elbows together and play around with your forearm stand and see if you can slowly lower the knees back down. Tap. And then go back up. So playing with the control of your forearm stand. Bring the feet, cross them together. Maybe you can interlace them into lotus. Play with whatever variations are you working on. Extend the legs out wide. And slowly pike them down. Maybe they reach the floor. Tap. Lift back up. Draw the feet and knees back together. And straighten the legs. Bring the feet back down. Lift the forearms up, downward facing dog. And slowly hover the feet forward one at a time. Halfway lift. Ragdoll, fold forward. Kind of sway right to left. Let it shake out a little bit. Shake your head. Be a yes. So you can internalize your practice. Halfway lift, forward fold. Interlace the hands behind the skull. Press the elbows down and then kind of squat down to rise up. Good. Open the heart. A little back bend. Nudging the lower ribs down. Interlace the hands into prayer above your head. And lateral bend to the right hand side. Root down the left heel. Inhale back to center. And hinge over to your left. Rooting down the right foot. Tuck the right arm under as the left arm threads over. Hands come up back to the sky. Left arm rolls under, right arm comes above head. And you can point the left toe out wide as well. Bring the hands into heart center. Rise back up, inhale, slight back bend. Exhale, hands to sternum, thumb knuckles to the sternum. Inhale. Exhale, side out. Inhale. And Om. Om. Inhale and Om. Om. Again. Om. Lift the hands up, rise, and exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Gaze to the front of your mat. Hands to your mat, step back. One at a time, plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Flip your feet one at a time. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale. Pause here, inhale. Exhale, take a look at the left heel. Back to center, inhale. Exhale, take a look at the right heel. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, take a peek at the left. Inhale. Exhale, take a look at the right. Curl the toes under, roll them back, downward facing dog. Good. Bend the knees, really feel the lower back lengthen. Heels pedal down, left and right. Lift the heels up, gaze forward, bend the knees, and then roll the spine into plank. Good. Chaturanga. Let the collarbones broaden. Roll the toes, upward facing dog. Draw back to downward facing dog. Again, gently lift the heels, roll the spine long into plank. Chaturanga, half plank. Upward facing dog. Now slowly curl the toes back. Draw the sit bones straight back into your downward facing dog. Pedal the heels right to left. Walk them a little closer. Bend the knees. And then gaze forward. See if you can step and float. Do a little leapfrog to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up into your mountain pose. Little back bend, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands to the mat. Jump back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lift the heels, gaze forward. Try to get a little air time. Jump forward, halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up into chair pose. Draw the hips back. See if you can see the toes in front of your knees. Sit a little deeper into your chair. Yeah. Move into a power chair. Now slowly lower the knees down. Sit onto your heels. Good. For broken toe pose, fan the toes out wide. Give yourself a little time working on opening up the fascia of the plantar sides of the feet, the soles of the feet. This may create a lot of sensations, but see if you can just breathe through the sensations. Meditatively tune in to the quietness around the sensations. Bring the hands to heart center. Lift the knees back up. Rise up into chair pose. Sit back. See if the thighs can hover back. Lower the hands down. Forward fold. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Halfway lift. Good. And draw the thighs, the torso to the thighs. Like really lengthen them and see if you can place them right on the tops of them. Root the hands down. Jump back into your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. So I feel like when we jump back into plank, it should really be jump back into low plank. So we just kind of have this shock absorbers in the elbows. Lift the right heel up. Inhale, three-legged dog. Draw the knee to the underarm and slowly lower the right foot down. Warrior one. Really open up the shoulders. Draw the right knee over the ankle. Cactus arms if you like, or extend them high and above. Bring the hands into prayer. Lift the elbows. Squeeze them in around the ears. Wrap them around. Hands to the front of your mat. Lift the heel up first. Rotate it back. Three-legged plank. Lower down into upward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Left heel rises up. Inhale. Roll to tiger curl. Step the knee forward and then lower the left foot down. Rise up into Virabhadrasana 1. Knife edge of the back foot roots down. The knee goes over the ankle. Soften the front ribs down as the tailbone just sinks down to the mat. Hands into prayer, elbows up to the sky. And wrap the biceps around the ears. Lower the hands back down. Spin the right heel up and step the left foot back into three-legged plank. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Step the feet forward. Slight bend in the knees, gaze forward. Lift the heels up. Step, float, get a little air time. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up into chair pose. Utkatasana. Sit deep back into your chair. Fingertips expand forward. Forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana. Then jump back. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Press the heels down as the abdomen moves towards the thighs. Lift up, step the right foot forward. Warrior one. Hands to your mat. Step back, three-legged plank. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Step the left knee forward, warrior one. Sun salutation B. Hands to the front of your mat. Step back, three-legged chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Lift the heels. See if you can float up, forward. Hover down, halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, rise up into chair pose. Forward fold, halfway lift. Hands to your mat, step back, jump back, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right heel rises up. Three-legged dog. Bring the heel to the bum. Move the chest towards the rooted leg, and then open up the gate. Bring the knee up to the sky. Try to keep the shoulders parallel to the mat. And then flip your dog. Move the feet parallel to each other. Right hand comes up and over. And if there's a wheel, if you can float into Urdhva Dhanurasana. And then spiral the right hand, lift the left leg up and over. Or lift the right leg up and over, back into plank. Vasisthasana, side plank. Stack the feet. Reach the hands for the big toe mounts for the foot. Lift and straighten the left leg up. Gaze. Kind of roll it forward into crescent lunge. You can drop the right knee down if you like for a low lunge. Straighten the top of the back foot. Press the left knee forward. Hands rise up. So hug the left heel and the right knee together isometrically. Prayer hands, thumb knuckles move into behind the skull, elbows lift up. Rise the hands up all the way up. And then grab the right wrist with the left hand and hinge over to the left. Good psoas stretch on the right side. Lower the right hand down, twist the left hand upward. Gaze to the left thumb. Have your drishti follow a point of reference. Bring the left hand down. Right leg engages. Step the left leg back, downward facing dog. So you can always vinyasa through or just step right back into dog. Then roll the spine forward into plank. Chaturanga, half plank. Flip your feet upward facing dog. Roll the toes back, downward facing dog. Press the heels down as the torso moves towards the thighs. Lift the left heel up, inhale, three-legged dog. Good. Bend your knee and then lift up for a side stretch. Draw the chest towards the right thigh. And then flip your dog. If it's in your practice, you can stay where you're at. And so, flip dog and bring the left hand down and move into wheel. Step the feet a little closer. Move the chest over the wrist if it's available. Lower ribs nudge down and then shift the weight back into the right hand. Kind of squash the palm of the right hand and spin. Right hand comes up, left hand down. Vasisthasana, side plank. Draw the foot, lift it up to the hands and create a bind if you can. Or just fake it, lift it up, and swing the right leg forward into lunge, either crescent lunge, low lunge. Sink the tailbone down as the crown lifts up. Hug the right thigh into the pelvis. Lift the hands up, palms to hands together, the palms, thumb knuckles into the skull, elbows rise up. Lift the left arm up, grab the left wrist with the right hand and hinge over to your right. Lateral bend, hands to heart center. Left hand down, right hand rises up for a twist, low lunge twist. So the whole of the left shin moves towards the earth. Kind of the more contact you get on the ground, the better. Lift the left heel, right heel steps back into plank. Steps back into downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel, the heels rise up and we roll into plank. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Good. So feel the hamstrings lengthen. Right heel lifts up. And step it forward. Knee to nose, tiger curl. Hold. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale back up, three-legged dog, tiger curl, hold, inhale, three-legged dog, draw back. Exhale, come across the body to the left elbow, straighten the leg and see if you can hover it, lower it down and bring the chest all the way down. Fallen angel. Try extending the arms if it's available and just really feel the whole kind of twisting in the abdomen. It's kind of difficult sometimes on the breathing part of it, but that allows the breath to be maneuvered into different parts of the lungs. You can thread the left arm for a twist as the right arm goes forward. Good. So there's a little shoulder twist, moving from the inner groins all the way to the shoulders and the thoracic spine. And unthread the arms. You can rest the forehead onto the forearms, letting be more of a restorative posture. And then when you're ready, walk the hands back to the side ribs, curl the left toes under, and then rise up into fallen angel. Again, lift the left leg straight, tuck it underneath the nose, inhale, lift the right heel back up. Step the right foot forward, crescent lunge. Tight as light on the back leg. Let the left heel move energetically forward as the left thigh activates. Hinge over, inhale, exhale, twist. Maybe you can lift the torso off of the thigh. Have a bind of the left elbow to the right knee, outer right knee. Spin forward into warrior two. Reverse the palms and then bring it back forward. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle. See if the right side of the torso can lengthen as the left hand reaches up and back, twisting the torso. Fingertips hover towards the ground. Bring the left hand around and touch the sacrum. And bring your left toes kind of not so wide. Make a little internal rotation of the left thigh. Right leg externally rotates. Create a bind if it's available. Step the left foot forward, root down the left foot onto the ground, and move into your birds of paradise pose. So we have this rooting the left foot down, lifting the right heel up. Before you straighten the leg, really elongate the spine. And maybe you can straighten the right foot, maybe not. Lower the right leg down and move back into extended side angle. Right hand windmills down. Straddle the right foot, step the right foot backwards. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog. So see if you can draw back from the sits bones or from the upper front thighs rather than the mid back. You can see here I'm curving a lot in the lower back. Left heel lifts up. Step the knee to nose. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back up. Chest moves towards the right thigh. Exhale. Knee to elbow. Inhale. Three-legged dog. Exhale. Left knee to right elbow. Extend the leg to hover. And slowly lower the left hip down, bringing the chest towards the ground, and reach the arms above your head. So yeah, you can stay here. Lengthen the chin forward. And you can do a deeper twist by threading the right arm under, bring the right ear to the right shoulder or the right bicep. Become more of a restorative pose in some ways, but also difficult in breathing, or we're working the breath into areas we maybe don't normally breathe. How often do we have this deep twist for a held period of time? So it kind of challenges the breath, massaging the organs with the breath. Bring the hands to the side ribs. Curl the right toes under. Become active in the hands, feet, and core. And move into side plank, lifted bottom leg. Now thread the knee to the nose. Exhale, inhale, three-legged dog. Knee to chest, step it forward. Crescent lunge. It's a version of Warrior One. Hands reach up. Heart expands towards the sky. To heart center, bring the thumb knuckles and twist. Hinge forward. Exhale, deepen the twist. So creating a bind at the prayer hands. You can fly your wings if you like. Whatever is available for your practice. See if that right thigh can be truly engaged in this pose. As the spine spirals out of the hips, you can feel the crown lengthening away from that extended right heel. Now reverse the torso, bring the left hand forward, Warrior Two. Now bring the palms up to the sky, reseating the shoulders down, and then reverse the Warrior. Right hand glides down the right leg. Extend the side angle, left elbow into the inner left thigh. Fingertips hover. Right hand internally rotates, touches the left hip. And reach under, create the bind with the fingertips, and start to externally rotate the shoulders. Step the right foot forward, plant it down. Extend the standing leg and the crown to rise up. And maybe you lengthen the left leg. One side might be better than the other. Play around here. Step the left foot down. Step back into bound side angle. Hands reach the mat. Step back into downward facing dog. And then round the spine into plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale. You can lower the knees at any time to transition. Downward facing dog. Give yourself, reorganize your breath. That was a lot of work, movement. Just let the breath fill back up and exhale. See if the Ujjayi breath can carry you forward, lifting the heels up, gaze forward, step, maybe you float forward. Try a little leapfrog, handstand, try to pike down. It's okay, whatever you do is fine. Catch yourself. Forward fold, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Rise up into mountain pose. Sit into your chair. Shifting the weight into the left foot. Bring your hands into prayer and twist to your left. Prayer twist. Left elbow comes across if you're working on side crow. So use your elbows as a shelf for the right thigh. You can do whatever variation you're working on. Rise back up into mountain pose. Sit back into chair. Hands to heart center. Right elbow comes across to the left knee. Keep the knees parallel of sorts. And then roll the hands behind you. And maybe the thigh can shift onto the elbow. Play around with whatever arm variation you're working on. Good. Tick-tock your feet, hips distance apart. Peace fingers wrap around the big toe mounts. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Chest towards the thighs. Bring the elbows out wide. A few breaths here. And bring the palms of your hands underneath the soles of your feet for gorilla pose. I like to make this more of a restorative kind of pose here, at least today. Softening the face, letting the grip of the jaw relax. Walk the hands forward. Lift the heels up and move into your crow. So squeeze the knees onto the outer triceps, or you can stack it like a shelf. Toes touch, and then jump back into chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale, downward facing dog. Good. Feel the lower back lengthening. Upward. Lift the heels, gaze forward, step, and jump into crow. If it's available, you can jump forward. Step back into plank. Upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Walk the feet a little closer. Gaze between the thumbs, bend the knees. And again, work for a little leapfrog, whatever you're working on. Step the feet down, halfway lift, forward fold. Mountain pose, inhale, sit down into chair. And wrap the arms into eagle. Right leg comes up and over on the left thigh. Good. Garandasana. Left knee comes up and then back. So warrior three, keeping the eagle arms. Release into airplane, hands behind you. Lower the left fingertips down. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Lift the right hip up as the left thigh externally rotates. So it's all in the lifted hands and the lifted foot. So as you extend outward, you're hugging back in. So the effort with the return, the forehead moves to the shin. So we walk the hands behind the back ankles, standing split. Now press the hands down as if you're going to lift the left heel up. So I always think of it as like a car jack. You're pressing the hands down and the heel lifts. If you want to leap up into split stands, you play around. Maybe it's just switching the legs, trying to get some kind of air time or some balance. And then bring the right foot back down, forward fold, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Rise up into mountain pose. Exhale. Bring the left arm underneath the right. Left knee comes up and over eagle pose. Maybe get a little deeper into the eagle. Lift the left elbow up. Fingertips point to the sky. Lift the left knee. Step it to hover back into warrior three. Airplane. Lower the right fingertips down, left fingertips go up into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Standing leg externally rotates. See if the right back ribs can begin to twist out of the hips towards the chest. Hands move down, standing split. Left leg is lifted. Right leg and heel lifts up. And when you can, lift the hands and wrap around the back right ankle. If you need stability, leave the hands down. So draw the shoulders over the wrist. And if you want to swing and kick up and practice split leaps or split stands. So it's all in the pedals of the hands, like you have the pedal and the brakes, the fingertips and the palms, and your hands are really super active Just arches in your hands. So you notice I may be moving from the palms to the fingertips back and forth to create the balance and the juice of the pose. Okay? So the upper shoulders or the lower shoulders are wrapping around the torso. And the arms are locked. Now walk the hands forward. Now go ahead and lower all the way down into a prone pose. So this whole practice was all about building the strength towards handstands through just sun salutations, right? Through a normal power class, we've been rounding the spine forward. Now lift up into lotus. Gaze towards the front of your mat and lower back down. Change sides. Bring the left cheek down. And then rest. Tops of your feet are straight. So the base of lotus, I feel like, is the pubic bones and the two hip bones. Bring the heels up, bend your knees, windshield wiper them right to left. And floor bow. Reach the arms around outer sides of the ankles. Again, lift the knees off the mat. Try to balance onto the hip points and the pubic bone. Bring the hands to the side ribs, drawing them back, elbows in a 90 degrees. Press upward facing dog. Inhale, lengthening the crown. Exhale, feeling the knees lift up. Draw back into downward facing dog. Walk the feet a little bit closer. Draw the thighs into the torso. Bend the knees. Gaze forward and try to step and jump the feet through the hands. Yes, nice. All the way onto your back. Now walk the fingertips towards the heels for bridge pose. So the thighs are lifting up. Lift the right heel up to the sky and then lower it down. Lift the left heel up. Keep the hips off the ground. Lower it back down. Lift a little higher. Adduct the thighs together. Then lower the hips down one at a time. Bring the hands by your ears for wheel pose. Pressing, tap the crown of the head down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower, tuck the head under. Nice. Give yourself a few moments of reorganizing the breath and just allowing the breath to become more natural. Let's go up into wheel again. Press the legs strong. Walk the feet a little closer, drawing the shoulders and the chest over the wrist. And if you want to tap it down again, go ahead and tap and then lower back down. Happy baby. Hands reach for the knife edge of the feet. Knees out wide and draw in between the inner arms. You can roll from side to side. Maybe straightening one leg will help. Roll over to the right. Roll over to the left. Now bring the hands onto the right leg. Extend the left leg down. Draw the right knee half happy baby. Good. Try to nudge that left thigh down closer to the ground. Interlace the hands through the right thigh. So maybe the base of the thigh, the origin. Bring the left arm out wide. Hand to toe pose. Peace fingers onto the toe. Again, extend the left leg. Make it active. If you have a strap, it would be really nice right here. We don't have to go so deep. If your flexibility is not there, you can notice here myself in this pose, I have a really big gap on the left extended leg, not necessarily to my benefit. And then switch arms, the left fingers onto the right big toe for supine twist. But it's all good. That's why we play around and we just move towards something. It's not going to always look the same, and it's all about the sensation of the pose. It's going to be discovery from point A to point B, because it's a lifelong practice. We bring the right ankle to the top of the left knee for a supine half pigeon. So interlace the hands, and this is from Bob Cooley here, where we lengthen and exhale. You're going to draw the knee to the shin, and on the inhale you're resisting back down. So it's kind of draw in, pulse, resist, lowering down 5 times. Interlace the hands behind the head. Just give yourself a moment to sit in this pose without any activity and allow it to be a little more restorative. Draw the right leg forward, interlace the hands around the base of the left thigh, so the origin closer to the torso. And press the thigh into the hands as the shoulders and the heads lengthen back and down. The heels lifting upward. The right thigh is moving away from the crown. And if you want to, if you can reach an ankle or a foot or a calf, it doesn't really matter. Bring the hands, depends on what you're working on today. I guess I'm trying to really stretch out the hamstrings here. And I'm just working, grabbing the peace fingers around the left toe. And eventually going to move it out wide. It doesn't have to go all the way. Right thigh is moving towards the earth. Right heel is moving away from the crown. So over time, I think with this practice, when you learn and you practice daily, you will become more flexible in certain areas, like your hamstrings. I was part of the hamstring tight club. I can notice here that my flexibility has increased, and also the strength. So it's kind of like strength and flexibility at the same time. The left hip moves away as I supine twist over to the right hand side. And creating that bind allows me to lengthen the left hip away from the crown. Gaze can move to the left fingers. Rotate the left leg back upward and release the left foot back down. Good. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Let's switch sides, yeah. Left ankle over the right knee, hands interlaced behind the thigh. So you're going through the hole, working with a Bob Cooley type of stretch. We're going to draw the forehead to the ankle, and on the exhale you resist back down. I might just be pulsating here, and that's fine. But there's that resistance in the coming back of it. Kind of helps release the psoas in the stretch. Allow yourself to sit here for a few moments, a couple breaths. Extend the heels up into waterfall. And then bend the knees, rock and roll forward. And move into fish pose. Fingertips underneath the sacrum, elbows in, and feel the heart expand upward. So maybe you shimmy the fingers right underneath the sits bones. Toes pointed. Feel the lower front ribs nudging down, softening as the crown of your head moves towards the mat. And rise back up. Bring the heels towards the sit bones, fingertips out wide, reverse tabletop. Extend the feet straight for a reverse plank. Maybe the soles of the feet reach the ground, maybe they don't. Toes come towards you. Dandasana. Hands reach forward to wherever they reach organically. Could be the ankles, could be the calves. Work on lengthening the spine upward. And maybe even bend the knees a little bit. Depends upon where you are with your flexibility. I like to grab the back of my calves sometimes. Grab the knife edge of the feet. Wrap the forearms around the calves, the outer shins. And then slowly begin to rise back up. Walk the hands to the sides of your hips. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide for butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. Wrap the hands around the knife edges of your feet. And start to open up the spine and then roll back, keeping the soles of your feet together. Lengthen the left leg along and draw the hands to cradle the right shin. Extend the left thigh down towards the ground. Shoulders widen. If you want to hook the inner left elbow around the left ankle, bring the right arm into a bind behind the skull. You can even release and bring the torso to the ground. And then switch sides. Draw the left knee upward. Bring the sole of the left foot into the inner right elbow. Left hand wraps around the left thigh. Interlace the bind. So recline pigeon. So move into your version of this pose, whatever's working for you today. Draw the right thigh down to the ground. And release. Move into knees into your chest, and then wrap the legs around each other. Create eagle legs, supine, arms out wide, and supine twist. Gaze can move towards the right hand, right thumb. Bring the hips towards center, unravel the legs, wrap them around the left leg on top. Rotate and stack the hips over to the right hand side. Left arm out long, but also fingers engaged, hug the arm bone into the shoulder. Try to flatten the left shoulder onto the mat. Just deepen the breath. Let the twist initiate from the lower groins. Bring the soles of your feet together as the knees go wide, and bring them back together and lengthen the legs long into your final Shavasana pose. Let the legs and the limbs, the extremities totally dissolve into the mat. Close your eyes, soften the breath. And let the breath come naturally, in perfect timing. Just bring your awareness to the breath, more so than trying to control it. And slowly draw the knees into your chest, roll over onto one side. Bring the hands into prayer near the right ear. It's a fetal position. Give yourself a moment to digest the practice. Roll yourself into an easy seat. Hands on to heart center. Inhale. And exhale side out. Inhale, Om. Om. Thumb knuckles to forehead center. Namaste.